which of the surgery is on the hernia. Hernia is one of the important topic in the surgery, or it is one of the important and the common the surgical disease there. So we will be see the hernia there. The first of all, the definition of the hernia. What do you mean the hernia? The hernia is a protrusion of viscous or part of viscous through an abnormal opening. An abnormal openings. So it's a protrusion. What? Protrusion of what? The viscous or the part of viscous, the abdominal viscera. Either the whole viscera comes out or the part of the viscera comes out. And that protrusion through an abnormal opening is called as a hernia. And again repeat the definition. The hernia is a protrusion of viscous or the part of viscous through abnormal opening. It is one of the common clinical surgical condition. Now we will see the etiology of the hernia. The etiology of hernia, the most common or the basic cause of the hernia is weakness of the musculature. Weakness of musculature, because we have the different openings are there of the inguinal canal, femoral canals, umbilical opening which is closed, the hiatus opening, gap in between the muscles. Usually when the person is normal, this portion of the viscous has been or is prevented by the contraction of these muscles. This muscle doesn't allow to go through this one. But when this muscle become weak, abdominal muscles become weak, they are failure to contract strongly, and closing these openings are there, and this opening becomes the abnormal. So that's why the basic cause or underlying pathology main is a weak musculature. Weak musculature. Second one, increased intra-abdominal pressure. Increased intra-abdominal pressure. Any cause which causing increased intra-abdominal pressure, like intra-abdominal tumor, ovarian tumors, other tumors that will become huge and occupying more space inside the abdominal cavity, causing the pressure, increasing the pressure. So this increased pressure, it pushes the viscera or viscous, and this viscous try to protrude through these openings. This opening becomes the wider due to the pressure. So second cause is the increased intra-abdominal pressure. What are the causes? They are causing the increased intra-abdominal pressure. Second, chronic constipation. The person having the chronic constipation, when he goes for the passing the stool, due to the constipation, he must have what? The compress the abdomen. Must have do the force. And when the force, he uses the force to pass the stool, there is a contraction of the abdominal muscles, decreasing the abdominal cavity, causing increased intra-abdominal pressure, and the viscous and part of viscous try to protrude through the abdominal openings. Then fourth, the chronic or the violent cough. Mostly in cases of the chronic person having the chronic cough, and every time he attempt to cough and cough out, so that time what happens? Abdominal muscle gets compressed. Again it leads to causing the increased intra-abdominal pressure, which causes the protrusion of the viscous or the viscous to the part of the viscous through the openings are there. Or violent cough, when the person forcefully coughs, even cough is acute and violent, so there will be a sudden increase in abdominal pressure which will pushes the viscous or the part of viscous through this openings and making the abdominal opening wider than that. So do you understand? So these are the causes of hernia or the etiology of the hernia. Isn't it? Weak musculature, increased intra-abdominal pressure, chronic constipation, chronic or violent cough. So do you understand etiology? Then we go for the classification of the hernia. Classification of hernia or the types of hernia. Hernia is classified in different types on the basis of various factors. The first classification on the basis of site. Basis of site means at which site or from which opening the hernia occurs. It's called as on the bishop side. These are number one, inguinal hernia. Number two, femoral hernia. Number three, hiatus hernia. Number four, umbilical hernia. Number five, incisional hernia. Incisional hernia. Number six, epigastric hernia. Number seven, spigelian hernia. Number seven, gluteal hernia. Number nine, sciatic hernia. Sciatic hernia. These sequence is given according to the occurrence, rate of occurrence, chronology, it is added in chronological orders with the high rate of the occurrence. Among these hernia, the inguinal hernia is very commonest one. About 70 to 75% cases. 70 to 75% cases are of the inguinal hernia. Sometimes this incidence may increase 80 up to 80%, but it's 70 to 75% is there. Then femoral hernia is next to that of the inguinal hernia, 10% to 15%. Then the hiatus hernia is about the 3 to 5%. The umbilical hernia is about the 2%. Incisional hernia is about the 1%. And the remaining hernias, these are rare type of the hernias. According to that, rare hernias are there. Which one? That of the epigastric, spigelian, gluteal, and the sciatic hernia. Inguinal hernia, the herniation occurs through the inguinal canal. Inguinal canal. Femoral hernia, in which the herniation or the protrusion of the viscus or part of viscus occurs through the femoral canal, where into the thigh. Hiatus through the hiatus opening. The umbilical through the umbilical opening. And from the umbilical scar, if the scar is weak and increase in internal pressure, causing the bulging of the umbilicus and causing the protrusion of the viscus or the part of viscus. Incisional at the site of incision. At the site of the surgical incision, where the incision has been taken and muscle becomes weak and protrusion occurs through that incisional area or the site of incision. Then epigastric hernia above the umbilicus. In epigastric, in between two muscles, the herniation may occur. In between these two rectus muscles, the herniation may occur due to weakness of the muscle or due to increased internal pressure. Spigelian hernia is below the umbilicus on the side of the abdomen. The protrusion through the or in between the muscles are there. Then gluteal is very rare, occurs in the gluteal region on the from the back side. It's very rare hernia is there. And sciatic into the sciatic region, in the sciatic region. But most commonest hernias are these first four. First four. Most common is inguinal, then the femoral, then hiatus, and the umbilical hernia. This is a classification on the basis of site from where the hernia occurs. We understood? On the basis of site. The second classification, basis of. On the basis of content of hernial sac. Hernial sac. On the basis of the content of hernial sac means, or on the basis of the viscus or the part of viscus which protrude and lies into the hernial sac. These are number one, number two, omentocele, number three, cystocele, Number 4, nephrocele, etc. etc. Enterocele means what? Where hernial sac contain the coils of intestine. Coils of intestines, which is most commonest one. Means there is a protrusion of the coils of intestine through abnormal opening. Second, omenticele means there is a protrusion of omentum or the part of the omentum and lies into hernial sac. This is called omentocele. Next, cystocele, where protrusion of the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder. Urinary bladder. Nephrocele, there is a protrusion of the kidneys. Kidney or kidneys. So these last two are common, uncommon. These first two are common. These are the common. Content of the common protrusion. So this is according to the content of the sac or on the basis of the viscous or the part of viscous which protruded. Next one, classification. On the basis of complication. On the basis of complication, the hernia is two types. First, uncomplicated. And second is